Okay, this is the season 4 plot, week 1 document. We have already gone over this, but in testing out the recording, I'm just going to go over this one more time. This is Mr. Perry, and here we go. The beginning for what is plot. Plot is, as we covered in class, the events that make up the story. It's what happens, how, and to whom. Plot is what makes the story the story. There are characters in the story. The story is going to take place in a setting, but without a plot, none of that. There's nothing to happen in those places. The plot of a story can be charted out in a few different ways, and we're going to check those out over the next few weeks. One is the plot diagram, and we filled out the parts of the plot diagram below. So the plot diagram, you have the exposition, right here, the rising action, which leads to the climax, and then the falling action, and the resolution. And the exposition includes the introduction of the characters, the basics of the plot, and it ends with something that we call the inciting incident, which is what launches the protagonist into an active role in the story. When we meet the protagonist, they aren't inside the story. Maybe they have no interest in getting involved. The inciting incident is what makes them care and what makes them get involved. You have the rising action immediately following it, kickstarted by the inciting incident. This rising action is the series of tests and conflicts that the protagonist has to overcome on their way to achieving their main goal. It's all building up to the climax, the point of highest conflict, tension, and suspense, what the story has been building to all along, where the outcome of the protagonist's struggles is determined. After the climax, you have the falling action, where the outcome becomes clear, the consequences make themselves known, and the audience finds out the protagonist's reward or punishment. This is a calming down period after the climax, where the fates of characters and settings are determined. We find out who lives, who dies, who's going to be rewarded, who's going to be punished. That continues into the resolution, which is a tying up of loose ends or possibly saving them for sequels. We place the characters in their new normal or their status quo, or we return them changed to the old status quo, and the protagonists will have a new outlook, a position, or purpose in life. Things have to change because otherwise the story didn't do anything. We're going to be trying something new with the choices this month. We've already gone over this, but one more time. Instead of everybody reading a novel and applying literary elements to that and that alone, you're going to have the option of two different branches. Branch 1 is going to be reading novels of their choosing. Branch 2 is going to be focusing on career exploration and preparation. You only have to do one of the two branches, but you're not limited to it. Extra credit will be provided to those who do both branches, but if you are trying to get all the credit you can, make sure you are doing one branch completely to the best of your ability, and then going on to the other stuff. The purple branch, color-coded for this month, is going to be reading a novel. We have the Sora app on the internet through the library. You would sign into your school, Central School District. We can sign in. You sign in through your Google account and continue on there. And you have a number of book selections that you can choose from. You could choose to read their audiobooks that are available to you. Say we wanted to read The Giver. Then we would click Borrow. And now The Giver is available in my class library. And I can divide it up by the chapters And there are some extras as well over here. And so you can read without flipping the page, if you so choose. So that is Sora, and then when you are done with it, you would go to your shelf, scroll down to Options, and then you would return it. There. Now we're good. You would list the title, the author, back cover, inside jacket text, what they give you for that information. They'll usually give that information to you on the profile. Divide your chapters into a quarter, and then those are your weekly reading goals. So moving along for your week 1 reading, chapter summaries, just take a few sentences and summarize the chapter. If you have 8 chapters, then you should have 8 short paragraphs. And then you're good for the week until you get to the activity down below. But if you're following the yellow branch, meanwhile, this is going to be a little bit different because you're going to follow this link to a free personality test that you can also sign in on Google. There we go. Nope. Not letting me sign in. It worked before. But you have 16 personality types that are based on how you answer questions. So you would agree or disagree to varying degrees. You don't want to select like neutral answers because that's not going to tell them much about your personality. Be yourself, answer honestly, because this is supposed to help you and it will give you one of those personality types. There's no point in lying to yourself. You're going to complete it all. Your personality type could be introverted or extroverted, so I or E, intuitive or observant, N or S. You could be thinking or feeling. T or F, you could be judging or prospecting. J or P, or you could be assertive or turbulent, A or T. That A or T is like every personality type will be assertive or turbulent. There will be it's like a coin, and so every personality type is a coin. And on one side are the assertive types, and on one side are the turbulent types. And once you have filled that out, you can read for yourself how that goes. So once you finish the quiz, you would take your personality type, type your personality type, the code name for it, and what the initials stand for in the box below. You click through Read More and go to the introduction. You want to write a paragraph below answering the following questions. What is your personality type? What does this say about you? Were you assertive or turbulent? And what does this mean? You can click what does this mean on your profile for more information. Do you agree or disagree about what it sums up about your personality and why? Because it'll lump you in your personality type. Who were some of the famous and fictional people that you share personality type with? And were there any that you were surprised about, particularly happy with? Why was that? As you explore your type, you're going to click through strengths and weaknesses, you're going to read it, and you're going to write a paragraph explaining what common strengths and weaknesses are for your type and how they match up with your view of your own strengths and weaknesses. And you want to be honest here because that's the point of all this. You are analyzing yourself. Feel free to explore friendship, romantic relationships, and parenthood on your own. We're not at that stage of our learning process yet, but the next important part is career paths and workplace habits down below those. You can read through, write a paragraph listing your type's different suggested career paths, narrow it down to 3 or 4 that you find worth exploring. You're going to be working with these different suggested career paths for the next several weeks. After that, you want to read your workplace habits and write another paragraph in this box right here about what is written on your type's workplace habits, comparing them to your own workplace or school habits. What's similar, what is different? So career path, workplace habits. This week posted to Classroom are the poems The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost and Oranges by Gary Soto. Read through those and then summarize them in order just in terms of the plot. Then in 2 separate paragraphs, in this box and in this box, you're going to write out the plot diagrams for The Road Not Taken and Oranges. What happens? How does it follow a plot diagram? How does something that is a page long and not told in story format, how does it still tell a story? And then for your week 1 plot activity, your end of week discussion, you're going to need to discuss your progress in your book and or your personality career exploration with people in class. So to start, you're going to write a quick paragraph in this box right here, summarizing, reviewing your thoughts about your book and your personality and career exploration. So if you're doing both, then you have more to choose from than other people, but if you pick one or the other, that's good too. Then find 3 people in the class, talk to them. How do we do this? You could talk via text or a messenger app. If you do that, please take screenshots and send it in so that we have something to look at. You're getting their paragraphs and you're giving them yours. You could create a doc for each other. That's another option. You could comment in the comment section of this video or on Classroom. You're going to share your thoughts and feelings about your book and or personality and career exploration, and they'll share theirs. You must write a paragraph summary of their thoughts and what they said in this box here, and a paragraph of your thoughts, how you felt about that. That's your reaction and your feelings about what they said in this box right here. So, who they are, what they said, paraphrase, obviously, don't type it out word for word, and a paragraph of your thoughts. Think about the following questions. Does their book sound interesting to you? Is their personality career exploration result a match to yours or something you might want to do for yourself? Did their answer make you think about your week's worth any differently? So you have 1 person, 2 person, 3 people to talk to. And that's it. That's it for this week. The due date for these assignments, Monday, March 23rd. Monday as well will be the week 2 doc being posted, so look forward to that. If you have any questions, comments at all, leave it in the comments, or you could email me at tperry@brocktoncsd.org. Thank you, good luck, and I'll see you next time.